Welcome friends to Muskrat Links. Today we've got a super exciting video for you guys. I went online and I found one of the rarest balls out there, the Pro V1 left dot. Today we are going to be comparing it against the normal Pro V1 to see how it plays out. This is going to be super interesting. I can't wait to get out on the simulator and see what the data says. Let's jump right in. For today's test, we've got 7-iron, driver, and 56-degree wedge. I didn't look to see what the left dot does compared to a normal Pro V1, so we're kind of going in here blind, so I'm excited to see if my results match what Titleist claims the ball does. Be sure you guys subscribe to Muskrat Links. We've got tons of cool stuff here on the channel. We just got over 600 subscribers. Please check and make sure you're subscribed. Help me get up to that 1,000 subscriber mark. That would be awesome. Let's get right into the test. All right, first shots are going to be with the left dot and the 7-iron. Let's pump some downrange and see how it does. Pretty good looking first shot here. I caught it a little thin, so it's going to be a little lower than normal, but that's decent for the 7-iron, a little short for me. Now that's better. Caught that one flush, heading right down there. A little bit of a baby fade. Carrying 163 out to about 175. Nice. All right, last shot here with the left dot. We've been doing pretty well so far. We've got 8 shots here. We're going to keep the best 6. Fade back for me. It's trying, but it'll end up pretty much just right in the pile with the other ones. Okay, that is it for the left dot. On to the normal Pro V1, also with 7-iron. Pretty good first shot here. Faded it a little bit. Felt a little bit spinnier than the left dot, although that's just literally one shot, so. Another good looking shot from the normal Pro V1 there, right down the line. Last one up here on the normal Pro V1. Let's send her down there. Well, not the best one to end on. That ball is probably not going to be one of the 6 that get chosen for the data set. But all right, on to the driver next. As usual, I'll show you guys a driver. It's the Callaway Epic Max LS. It is set to neutral and +1, so it's actually a 10-degree driver here. Let's give them a whack. Normal Pro V1 up first here. I'm expecting about, I don't know, maybe like 265 carry-ish with a little bit of a fade. Let's see what happens. Little bit of a draw actually on the first one, not the cleanest strike. Let's see what it gets out to. About 265 carry, rolling out to 290. Okay. Just a little bit of a pull on the first one there. I'm trying to hit these as nice as I can, just hitting some fairway finders so we get some consistent data. Well, so far the normal Pro V1 feels a bit spinnier than the balls I normally hit. So let's give it one more shot here, see if we can get another one straight down the pipe. Pretty good there, fading off a little bit, which again is my shot. You'll see the rest of the balls kind of collected over on this side. Pretty good distance on that one. All right, swap it over to the left dot. Let's see how it performs. Again, I don't know how this is supposed to go. Is this supposed to be spinnier? Is it supposed to have a higher launch angle? I don't really know. So I just want to hit some clean shots and then we'll check the data after. Pretty good first drive, about the same as the drive on the normal Pro V. Tugged it a little bit, but overall pretty straight. 286 out of that one. 15-degree launch angle, 2300 backspin. Okay. I also just came off filming a segment for a trick shot video, so my arms are a little tired. I hit a lot of drives there, so ball speed numbers aren't going to be up where they normally are for me, but that's okay. We're just trying to get clean, consistent shots in our tests. Last drive here with the left dot. Let's see if we can send it down there, and then we'll move on to the 56-degree. That's a pretty good looking drive if I do say so myself. Landing right on the center line, carried 263. Out to 289, beauty. All right, we saved the wedges for last because they'll tear up the cover of the ball, so let's get into it. Okay, the left dot is up here first. What I'm going to be looking for out of this test is about, maybe about 95 yards carry with about 10,500 backspins, kind of what I normally hit, so let's see how it does. There we go, cut across it a little bit, but not gonna be too bad. 94 carry, out to 98, 10,800 backspin. Another good looking wedge shot there, carries 95, rolls out a little bit, 9,500 backspin, okay. What I will say so far is I haven't seen any sort of discernible difference between the two. They feel the same when I'm hitting them. Maybe the left dot sounds a little bit different, but all golf balls are gonna sound different. So really, we're interested in what the data says. Last shot. good looking 56 degree to end on, right into that cluster. Okay, let's swap it over to the normal Pro V1, see how it does, and then we'll check our results. Obviously, I'm expecting about the same numbers for this Pro V1, so let's get them downrange. Fading over there a little bit, not quite as much distance as the other one, but it's right next to my very first left dot shot, so maybe that says something. There's a much better looking shot right into the cluster of the other ones. Let's check and see where those numbers bring us. Only 9,000 backspin on that one. Okay, interesting. Last shot of our testing here, then we'll jump in and check out the numbers. This will be interesting. I am very excited to see what the data says. And we get a nice one to end on there, right in the middle of the clusters. Perfect shot. What do we got? 10,600 backspin. All right, let's get into the data and see where the numbers lie. Here's what we've got, everybody. We've got all the data from all of those shots. We've got the left dot up here first with the 7-iron compared to the normal Pro V1. So let's jump in here and see what those numbers say. I don't think we really care too much about distance. I think distance is going to be more of a symptom than anything. It's not really going to tell us much. Because these balls are essentially identical. They have identical compression. It's not something I'm too worried about. So let's jump into more of the flight data here. Pro V1 left dot, we have 19.2 degrees for a launch angle compared to the normal Pro V1 18.7. That's close enough to pretty much be a tie. What have we got here for the spin number? 6,000 on there, 6,800. That's substantial enough to say there is a bit of a difference there. I'm going to say the Pro V1 spins a little bit more off the 7-iron. Let's see what we've got for side spin, 10,019, 495. Again, I would say the Pro V1 spins a little more, so that's kind of interesting. Lastly, we've got those carry numbers, 159 and 153. It's probably just carrying a little bit more because we've had a little bit less spin, so that makes a lot of sense for the left dot. All right, on to the driver. We hit the normal Pro V1 first here for the driver. We had pretty high spin numbers for me. I'm usually down around 2,400 or so for the balls I normally use, so 3,100 is pretty high still. Ball speed 152, launch angle 15.7 degrees. Again, that's a bit higher than I normally do, so let's see how that compares to the left dot. A little bit less of a launch angle for the left dot, a little bit less spin again. That's fairly high for me still. But again, that could be because I'm a little bit tired tonight, that's for sure. And spin, again, maybe a bit less on the left dot, but not really enough to be statistically significant, I'd say. Carry numbers pretty much identical, 151 to 152, out to 276 and 275. Very, very similar off the driver. Maybe I would say the left dot launches a little bit lower and a little bit lower spinning given my data, but that's about the only thing I would dare say. On to the sand wedges here. I hit a 56 degree. We've got the left dot up here first, 10,100 on that backspin, 10,700 on the backspin for the Pro V1. Again, I would say that is maybe worth noting, but not super close that it's super relevant. 31.4 degree launch angle on the normal Pro V1, 32 degree launch angle on the left dot. I hit the left dot a little bit harder. I hit off the face maybe a little bit more flush. And then side spin, about 1,000 side spin again. That's kind of high for a sand wedge. You don't usually fade or draw your sand wedges too much. 1,300 on the normal Pro V. So the normal Pro V is looking a little bit spinnier off the wedges compared to the left dot. Again, I don't know what it is supposed to be. So when we jump in and find out what it actually is supposed to be from Titleist, I'll be very interested to see. Distances, again, pretty much the same. Left dot went a little bit further because it was a little bit less spinny and I maybe hit it a little harder. That all makes sense. Okay, let's wrap things up here, see our conclusions, and compare that to what Titleist says the left dot is supposed to do compared to the Pro V1. Here are our conclusions, guys. I wrote everything down. So throughout all of our data, we found that the left dot was a little bit less spinny than the Pro V1. So that was consistent throughout all of it. As for the kind of height and launch angle, it was a little bit hit and miss. It was higher for our 7-iron, lower for our driver, and a little bit higher for our 56, so those are kind of negligible. And after looking it up online, Titleist says the Pro V1 left dot is supposed to be lower flying and lower spinning than the regular Pro V1. So we pretty much proved that. We decided it was indeed lower spinning across all the clubs. That was great to see. And it was about the same height. Again, I only hit 8 shots and took the best 6, so we have a very small sample size, but it pretty much proved Titleist was more or less on the money with their claims, though that data was very small. I wish we could shoot, hundreds of different shots and then see the data there, but we did a great job proving it today here in the garage. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Muskrat Links. Please check and see if you've hit that button. We've got a small channel, but we are putting out really big content. Would I recommend going out and buying the Pro V1 left dots? No, they're like $200 a dozen. I would not recommend doing that. Yo, if you guys feel bad, look these up on eBay. Buy mine. It's going to be listed on there. Okay, that's it for me. Have fun out there, everyone.